Class A, here is a list of your second set of vocab that deals with asking someone to help you or do a favor for you, responding to that request, and perhaps thanking that person if they do accept your request to help them. It has been brought to my attention that it is much easier to see these lists if you take a screenshot of this as opposed to taking a picture of the board. So work your magic, you kids and your technology. Here's the first set. I've just got one more screen to move it over to. Oh, there we go. And here is the rest of these words for this vocab. So take a screenshot of this. Again, I also suggest that you take a picture of the yellow page in your book that refers to this vocab because it has it set up in more of a conversational style. You can stop watching here. I'm going to talk about these words a little bit. If you would like an explanation, it would be beneficial for you. I have these S's right here in parentheses because it depends on if you're speaking to someone that you would refer to as tú or usted. Obviously, if you're speaking to someone informally, tú, you would keep the S's here. O, as, a, o, es, a. And if you want to speak to them formally, you drop the S. This one right here, podría, that's a tense that you guys haven't gotten to yet. It's called the conditional, and it's used to make polite requests. You don't have to understand how to do it. You just need to know that this is could you as opposed to can you. It's just a little bit more polite. If you want someone to help you to do something, you need to know this infinitive phrase. It's not just ayudar plus infinitive, it's ayudar plus a plus infinitive. Let's see, we also have two ways to say to give a hand or to lend a hand. To give is dar, to lend is echar. Hand is a feminine word even though it ends in O, and this phrase also is followed by a plus infinitive, and in English it equals blanking. Can you give me a hand taking out the garbage? Can you do me the favor of washing the dishes? And you can say to do the favor or to do a favor of that. This prepositional or this infinitive phrase takes the preposition de, whereas these two take a. Aceptar is to accept. Yes, much pleasure, my pleasure, delighted. You make this match the person who's speaking. If you're saying essentially I'm delighted and you're a girl, you would say encantada. How can I serve you? In what can I serve you is literal. We would say how can I serve you or help you? And again, this is the difference between informal and formal. Te or le, usted. At your service, to not have time, to have other things to do. To be impossible for someone, since something's happening to or for someone, of course you need an IOP. So if you're saying it is impossible for me, you want the it form of ser and the IOP to match may. To give thanks to someone, this word alguien means someone. Let's see if we have anything to talk about over here. Ooh, algún. If you had me for to be, we've already seen this word and we know how to use it. If it's followed by a singular masculine noun, you drop the O from over here and add an accent. If it's not followed by a noun that is singular and masculine, you make it alguno. That would be the pronoun. And if it's matching something feminine, it needs to be feminine. And if any of these are plural, it needs to be plural. And all of those mean some. Rehusar is to refuse. No, really, I can't. Look, I would like to. This is that conditional tense again. Again, you don't know it yet, but it's just a more polite way of speaking. Would like to do something. I would like to, but this is a form of querer. It's technically the imperfect subjunctive, which can also be used for polite requests. Again, you don't have to know the science behind it, but quisiera comes from querer, and it's polite. I'm really sorry. Forgive me. This is a command. Perdóname. This is the informal form of it because you take the he, she form of the verb. But perdonar, if you want to be formal, you would change it to perdóneme. Probably something you need to know. What a shame, but to be busy, super busy. Remember, if words end in isimo or isima, that's super something. To be tired, of course, adjectives have to match who you're talking about, and it's a star because it's a temporary condition. To be exhausted. Mil in Spanish, although it looks like million, is the word for thousand. Millón is million. I thank you a lot. And we've got the formal and informal. If you start with say, It's formal because what you really have is lay low, and you know you can't lay low, so you say low. And if you're informal, te lo agradezco mucho. It's conjugated in the yo form. I am appreciative to you for it. It's nothing. This is another way of saying you're welcome. I strongly discourage and sometimes don't allow you to say de nada anymore for you're welcome, to practice this one, no I de que. And this is another response like anything to serve you. It's sort of weird because we're not that polite with each other usually in English, especially my 5th hour class to me. But anyway, in order to serve you, it's just a way of saying I'll do anything to help. And this is the informal, and this is the formal. All right, you're up to date on your vocab. Thanks for listening.